The notification from the party planner's cancellation email stabbed through my chest like an icy blade. I stared at my phone, reading and rereading the message until the words blurred together. My 21st birthday celebration, the milestone event I'd been planning for months, was being unceremoniously axed 2 weeks before the big day. I'm Scarlett, and this is the moment I realized I would always be second best in my family's eyes. Mom! I stormed downstairs, finding her arranging flowers in our oversized kitchen. Why did Leslie just email me saying she's cancelling my birthday party? My mother, Edith, barely looked up from her precise placement of white roses. Oh, honey, I meant to talk to you about that. We need the venue for Layla's baby shower instead. Layla's what? My voice cracked. She already had a baby shower 4 months ago. This is different, Mom said, adjusting a stem with manicured fingers. It's a sprinkle, a smaller celebration for her second pregnancy. You know how important this is for your brother and his wife. I gripped the kitchen counter until my knuckles turned white. More important than my 21st birthday. Don't be dramatic, Scarlett. We can celebrate your birthday another time. Family comes first. I am family! The words exploded from my mouth. Or did you forget that detail somewhere between Bryce's law school graduation party and Layla's third engagement celebration? Mom finally looked up, her expression a perfect mask of controlled disappointment. Lower your voice. This isn't a discussion. The decision's been made. My phone buzzed. Chelsea, my best friend, was calling. I answered while walking away from Mom, who had already returned to her precious flower arrangement. Tell me it's not true, Chelsea said before I could speak. Your mom didn't seriously cancel your birthday party for another Layla Love Fest? I walked out to our back patio, sliding the glass door shut with more force than necessary. Oh, it's true. Apparently my milestone birthday can't compete with a sprinkle for baby number 2. That's messed up, Scar. Like, seriously messed up. You know what's worse? I watched a hummingbird dart between Mom's prized gardenias. Dad didn't even try to stop her. He just sat there reading his newspaper this morning when she made the call. What are you going to do? I hadn't told anyone yet, but I'd been building a decent following on social media over the past year. Nothing huge, but enough that my posts about fashion and life as a college student were getting noticed. I might have an idea. Uh-oh. I know that tone. What are you thinking? The patio door slid open, and my brother Bryce stepped out, phone pressed to his ear. Yeah, babe. Mom's handling everything. It'll be perfect. He noticed me and gave a small wave before continuing his conversation with Layla. Chelsea, I said, turning away from my brother. Remember how you always say the truth needs to be heard? Yeah? I think it's time people heard my truth. All of it. Scarlett. Chelsea's voice held a warning note. I've got to go. Coming over later? Of course. Someone has to keep you from doing something crazy. I ended the call just as Bryce finished his. Hey, sis, he said, looking apologetic. Mom told me about the party. I'm really sorry. Are you? I met his eyes. Sorry enough to tell Layla to pick another day. He ran a hand through his perfect hair, the golden boy's trademark move. Come on, you know I can't do that. Layla's already sent out invitations. Right, because heaven forbid anyone disappoint Layla. I headed for the door. Congratulations on the baby, by the way. I'm sure it'll be just as perfect as everything else in your life. Scarlett, wait! But I was already inside, climbing the stairs to my room. My hands shook as I opened my laptop and started typing. My name is Scarlett, and this is the story of how my family cancelled my 21st birthday party for my sister-in-law's second baby shower. I hit post and watched as the first likes started rolling in. My phone pinged with a text from Cody, a guy from my photography class who'd been showing interest lately. Saw your post. That's rough. Want to grab coffee and talk about it? For a moment, I hesitated. Then I heard Mom's voice floating up from downstairs, probably planning more details for Layla's perfect day. I texted back, "Coffee sounds great. And Cody? I have a feeling this story's just getting started." As I grabbed my keys and headed out, I could already see the comment count climbing on my post. Maybe it was time the world saw behind the carefully maintained facade of the Murray family. Maybe it was time they all learned what it felt like to be the one who didn't matter. The coffee shop buzzed with afternoon energy as Cody slid a steaming latte across the table to me. My phone hadn't stopped vibrating since I'd made the post 2 hours ago. "So, how many views are we talking about?" Cody leaned forward, his green eyes curious beneath his messy dark hair. I refreshed the page. 20,000. And climbing. My hands trembled slightly as I picked up the cup. I've never had anything blow up like this before. "Have you read the comments?" "Some." I pulled up the thread. "Listen to this one. Your family's treatment is textbook narcissistic behavior. My heart breaks for you, and I hope you realize you deserve better." Cody nodded thoughtfully. "They're not wrong." My phone lit up with Chelsea's face. "Hey, where are you?" she demanded when I answered. "I just got to your house and your mom said you stormed out." "I'm at Riverside Coffee with Cody. Come join us?" "On my way. Don't do anything dramatic until I get there." I hung up and noticed Cody studying me. "What? You're planning something bigger than just this post, aren't you?" Before I could answer, my phone buzzed with a text from Mom. "The caterer needs final numbers for Layla's shower by tomorrow. Please confirm you're attending." "Unbelievable," I muttered, showing Cody the message. "She really expects me to sit there and celebrate while everyone pretends it's not supposed to be my birthday. What are you going to say?" I typed quickly. "Don't worry, Mom. I'll be there." Then I looked up at Cody with a smile that wasn't entirely innocent. Just not in the way she expects. Chelsea burst through the door, her curly hair wild from the wind. "Okay, spill. What's the master plan that's going to get you disowned?" "Who says I have a plan?" "Please." Chelsea dropped into the chair beside me. "I've known you since 3rd grade. You've got that same look you had right before you exposed Jessica's cheating ring in high school." I pulled up my social media profile. What if I went live during the shower? "Scarlett." Chelsea's voice held that familiar note of concern. "Think about it," I continued, warming to the idea. "All these people who are supporting me online, they get to see exactly what I've been dealing with for years. No editing, no filters, just raw reality." "That's actually brilliant," Cody said, earning a glare from Chelsea. "Don't encourage her." "No, listen." I leaned forward. "Mom's always been obsessed with appearances, right? Everything has to look perfect for her country club friends. But what happens when thousands of people see behind the curtain?" My phone buzzed again. This time it was Bryce. "Hey sis, saw your post. Can we talk?" "Now my brother's worried about his precious image." I showed them the message. "Funny how they only care when it might affect them." Chelsea sighed. "I get it. I do. But are you sure you want to go nuclear? There's no coming back from something like this." "They crossed the line first," I said, my voice harder than I intended. 21 years of being the family afterthought, and they couldn't even let me have this one day. Cody reached across the table and squeezed my hand. "Whatever you decide to do, I'm in." "Me too," Chelsea added reluctantly. "Someone has to help you minimize the damage." I pulled up my calendar and created an event for next Saturday, the day of the shower, my birthday. Operation Truthstream is a go. Just then, my latest post update showed a comment that made my heart stop. "Is this the same Murray family that's always in the society pages? The ones with that big charity foundation?" Oh God. Chelsea peered at my screen. "Your mom's going to have a meltdown when this hits her social circle." "Good. I said, but my voice wavered slightly. Maybe she'll finally understand how it feels to be humiliated. Cody caught my eye. You okay? Yeah, I nodded, straightening my shoulders, just realizing there's no turning back now. My phone lit up with another text from Mom. Layla's asking about your cake preference for the shower. Chocolate or vanilla? I showed the others. She's really asking about cake preferences for a party that replaced my birthday. That's it. Chelsea grabbed my phone and started typing. I'm helping you set up the live stream right now. These people need a reality check. As Chelsea and Cody huddled around my phone, planning camera angles and timing, I watched my original post's numbers climb higher and higher. By Saturday, my family would learn that their perfect image wasn't as unshakable as they thought. And maybe, just maybe, they'd finally see me. Saturday morning arrived with the kind of perfect weather my mother always seemed to manifest for her events. I positioned my phone carefully in the decorative vase on the corner table, angling it for the best view of our living room. The screen showed live viewers, 47. People were already waiting. Testing, testing, I whispered into my earpiece. Chelsea, can you hear me? Loud and clear, her voice crackled through. Cody's monitoring the comment feed from his place. You're good to go. The front door opened, and Layla swept in wearing a flowing maternity dress, Bryce trailing behind with gift bags. Scarlett, you're here early. Wouldn't miss it, I smiled, adjusting my own birthday dress, the one I'd bought months ago for my party. Need any help setting up? Oh, sweetie, no. Mom appeared from the kitchen, wearing her signature hostess smile. You know I handle all the arrangements. Why don't you help Layla get comfortable? The viewer count ticked up. 158, 239, 305. Layla settled onto the specially arranged chair, decorated with pink and blue ribbons, while guests began arriving. Each one cooed over her tiny baby bump, while I stood in the corner, supposedly managing the guest book. Your mum really outdid herself, one of Mum's friends gushed. Although, isn't this around your birthday, dear? Actually, it's today, I said clearly, knowing my phone would pick it up. The live feed exploded with angry emoji reactions. Oh! The woman's face fell. I didn't realize. Don't worry about it, I smiled. Apparently, second baby showers take priority over 21st birthdays in this family. The viewer count hit 1,000. Mum appeared with champagne flutes, sparkling cider for Layla, of course. Everyone, gather round. We're about to start the games. I watched through my phone's view as Mom orchestrated her perfect party. The comments scrolled faster than I could read. This is painful to watch. That poor girl. Someone needs to call these people out. Scarlett? Chelsea's voice came through my earpiece. You're trending. This is getting big. Bryce approached me with a glass of champagne. Hey, you okay? You seem quiet. Just enjoying the show, I said, loud enough for the mic to catch. It's not every day you get to celebrate your birthday by watching everyone fawn over someone else's second baby shower. His face fell. Listen, about that. Bryce, Layla called. We're opening presents. The viewer count passed 5,000. I watched as Layla opened gift after expensive gift. Designer baby clothes, custom furniture, a stroller that probably cost more than my first car. Mum documented everything in her party planning notebook, the same one she'd used to plan my cancelled celebration. And this, Mum announced, is a special gift from the grandparents-to-be. She handed Layla an envelope. Inside was a check that made Layla gasp. This is too much. Nothing's too much for our grandchild, Dad said, beaming. The comments section exploded. But they cancelled their daughter's birthday? This family is toxic AF. Someone send this to drama channels now. My phone buzzed with a text from Cody. It's spreading to other platforms. News sites are picking it up. Now. Mom stood up, practically glowing. We have a special surprise. The cake. My heart stopped as the caterers wheeled out an elaborate 3-tier masterpiece, exactly like the one I'd chosen for my birthday. Is that? I stepped forward. Is that my cake design? The room went quiet. Well, Mom adjusted her blazer. It seemed a shame to waste such a lovely design, and since we had to cancel your party. Had to? My voice carried clearly through the stream. You chose to. You chose to take my birthday celebration and turn it into this. Scarlett, Dad warned. Not now. Then when? I pulled out my phone, making sure they could all see the live stream. When is it my turn to matter in this family? The viewer count hit 10,000. Mom's face went pale as she saw the phone, the numbers, the flowing comments. What have you done? What you taught me to do, I said, my voice steady. I'm making sure appearances are maintained. Isn't that what matters most? Layla stood up, one hand on her belly. Bryce, what's happening? What's happening, I announced to both the room and my growing audience, is that everyone finally gets to see behind the perfect family facade. Happy birthday to me. The room erupted into chaos as phones started pinging with notifications. Mom's friends whispered and pointed. Dad tried to damage control, and through it all, my phone kept streaming, the numbers climbing higher and higher as the Murray family's carefully constructed image began to crack. Chelsea's voice came through my earpiece. Scarlett, you just went viral. The aftermath was immediate and explosive. Mum's perfectly orchestrated baby shower dissolved into a flurry of awkward goodbyes and hurried departures. I sat on our grand staircase, watching the chaos unfold while my phone continued streaming. Turn it off, Mum demanded, her voice shaking. Turn that off right now. Why? I held up the phone. Isn't this what you wanted? An audience for your perfect family? Bryce stepped between us. Enough, Scarlett. You've made your point. Have I? I stood up. Because I don't think I have. Did you know Mom used my birthday cake design? The one I spent weeks picking out? It's just a cake, Layla interjected, still perched in her designated chair. My phone buzzed with rapid-fire notifications. Chelsea's voice came through my earpiece. You're at 50,000 viewers. It's being shared everywhere. Dad emerged from his study, face ashen. The foundation's board members are calling. This is going viral in our social circles. Of course they are, Mom snapped. Our daughter just decided to air our private family matters to the entire world. Private? I laughed. You mean like how you privately told all your country club friends that my party was cancelled because I was being difficult? Or how you privately suggested I was jealous of Layla's pregnancy? Mom's face went white. How did you? Mrs. Patterson's daughter follows me online. She showed me the texts. The viewer count ticked higher. Comments flooded in. This is better than reality TV. Team Scarlett all the way. Someone call Andy Cohen, we need a reunion show. Do you have any idea what you've done? Mom's voice cracked. The foundation's reputation. Your reputation, I corrected. That's all you've ever cared about. Bryce's phone started ringing. It's the law firm, he said, looking panicked. They're asking about the social media situation. Chelsea's voice crackled through. Scarlett, major news sites are picking up the story. You're trending nationwide. Layla burst into tears. This was supposed to be my special day. Yeah, I turned to her. Funny how that feels, isn't it? The doorbell rang. Through the glass, I could see Cody standing there, looking worried. Dad moved to answer it. Don't, Mom warned. No one else needs to witness this disaster. Too late, I gestured to my phone. About 100,000 people already are. Cody let himself in anyway. Scarlett, are you okay? The comments are getting intense. She's fine, Mom said through gritted teeth. She's just having a tantrum. A tantrum? I stepped closer. Is that what you call it when someone finally stands up to you? I call it ungrateful, she shot back. After everything we've done for you. Everything you've done for me? My voice rose. Like canceling my graduation dinner for Bryce's law school celebration? Or skipping my art show because Layla had a cold? Or maybe you mean taking my birthday and turning it into another excuse to worship your perfect son and his perfect wife? The stream's comment section exploded with support. Chelsea's voice came through. You're getting interview requests from major networks. Dad sank into a chair. This will ruin us. No, I said firmly. This will force you to see what you've been doing. All of you. Bryce stepped forward. Scar, please. Just end the stream. We can talk about this. Now you want to talk? After 21 years of being the family afterthought? That's not fair, Layla protested. Fair? I turned to her. Was it fair to schedule your second baby shower on my birthday? Was it fair to steal my cake design? Was any of this fair? Cody moved to my side, his presence steady and grounding. Maybe we should take a break, he suggested quietly. Mum's phone started ringing, the special ringtone she used for her social committee chair. Her hands shook as she declined the call. How does it feel? I asked softly. To have your carefully constructed image crumble? To have people see the real you? Scarlett, Dad pleaded. End this now. We can fix this. Fix what? The fact that your perfect family isn't so perfect? Or the fact that people finally know the truth? Chelsea's voice came through again. The local news is outside your house. As if on cue, camera flashes started going off outside our windows. Mom rushed to close the curtains, but it was too late. Her precious privacy was already shattered. Congratulations, Mom, I said, my voice steady despite my racing heart. You finally got the attention you always wanted, just not quite how you planned it. The viewer count passed 200,000 as our perfectly manicured family facade continued to unravel in real time, broadcast to the world one damning moment at a time. The morning after the live stream, I woke up at Chelsea's house to find my phone had practically melted down. Overnight, the video had racked up millions of views, spawned countless reaction videos, and inspired multiple Twitter hashtags. Your mom's been calling non-stop, Chelsea said, handing me a coffee. Like every 20 minutes since 6 a.m. I scrolled through the missed calls and messages. Mom, come home immediately. We need to fix this. Bryce. The partners are furious. Please call me. Dad, the foundation's biggest donor just pulled out. We need to talk. They're not angry that they hurt me, I said, showing Chelsea the messages. They're angry they got caught. My phone rang again. This time it was Cody. Turn on Channel 7, he said when I answered. Now. Chelsea grabbed her remote and flipped to the local news. There, in high definition, was our house, with reporters camped outside. The headlines scrolled across the bottom. Viral family drama. Social media exposes local philanthropists. Oh my God, Chelsea whispered. The reporter stood in front of our gate. The video, which has now garnered over 3 million views, shows what appears to be a pattern of familial favoritism and emotional neglect. The Murray Family Foundation, known for its charitable work, has yet to comment on the situation. My phone buzzed with a text from Layla. The hospital board is questioning Bryce's partnership track. I hope you're happy. They're trying to make you feel guilty, Cody said through the phone. Don't let them. A notification popped up. I'd been tagged in a post by a major news site. The article title read, Generation Gap, How One Woman's Viral Video Exposed Modern Family Dynamics. Chelsea's mom knocked on the bedroom door. Girls, there are reporters outside asking for Scarlett. What? I rushed to the window. Sure enough, 2 news vans were parked across the street. This is getting intense, Chelsea said. What's your next move? Before I could answer, my phone lit up with Mom's call again. This time, I answered. You need to come home right now, she hissed. The country club is threatening to revoke our membership. Do you have any idea what this is doing to our reputation? Still worried about appearances, Mom? This isn't a game, Scarlett. Your father's business partners are backing out of deals. Bryce might lose his partnership track. Is that what you wanted? What I wanted was my family to care about my birthday. For heaven's sake, we can throw you another party. Was this temper tantrum really worth destroying our family? Chelsea grabbed my phone. Mrs. Murray? This is Chelsea. With all due respect, you're still not getting it. Scarlett didn't destroy your family. You did that all by yourself. I could hear Mom sputtering on the other end as Chelsea handed the phone back. The media wants your side of the story, Mom said, her voice tight. We need to present a united front. Come home and we'll figure out how to spin this. Spin this? I laughed. You still think this is about PR? A new notification popped up. A message from a major talk show wanting to book me as a guest. Then another from a publishing agent interested in my story. Scarlett, Mom's voice turned pleading. Please, we can fix this. No, Mom, you can't fix this with your usual tricks. The world saw the real you. All of you. Through the phone, I heard Dad in the background. The Foundation's board wants an emergency meeting. They're talking about removing us. Are you happy now? Mom snapped. You've gotten your revenge. This wasn't about revenge, I said quietly. This was about being seen. Really seen. For once in my life. Chelsea's mom called up again. There's someone here from Good Morning America. I ended the call with Mom and looked at Chelsea and Cody's face on my phone screen. What do I do now? You tell your story, Cody said firmly. All of it. No more hiding. My phone buzzed with another text from Bryce. The managing partner wants to meet with me tomorrow. Thanks a lot, sis. They're still trying to make this your fault, Chelsea observed, as if their actions had nothing to do with it. I walked to the window, watching more media vehicles pull up. My notification feed was endless. Messages of support, interview requests, people sharing similar stories of family dysfunction. Maybe that's the real story here, I said slowly. Not just about my family, but about all the others like it. The perfect facades hiding ugly truths. So what are you saying? Chelsea asked. I turned back to them, my decision made. I'm saying it's time to do that interview, not to hurt my family more, but to help everyone else who's ever felt invisible in their own home. The morning sun streamed through the window as reporters gathered outside, waiting for the girl who dared to shatter her family's perfect image. For the first time in my life, I knew exactly what I needed to do. The television studio lights felt hot on my face as the interviewer, Sarah Matthews, leaned forward with practiced sympathy. So, Scarlett, tell us what led to that moment, the decision to live stream your sister-in-law's baby shower. Cody squeezed my hand from his seat just off camera. We'd chosen this interview carefully, a respected morning show with a reputation for fair coverage. It wasn't just about the shower, I said, keeping my voice steady. It was about 21 years of being treated like an afterthought. The shower was just the final straw. Your mother claims this was an overreaction to a simple scheduling conflict. I pulled out my phone. I have texts from 6 months ago where I confirmed the date for my birthday celebration. Mom responded with, "Perfect, it's blocked off." Then, 2 weeks before, they gave away my venue, my cake design, everything. For a second baby shower. Sarah's eyebrows rose. A second shower? They called it a sprinkle, I said, making air quotes. The studio audience murmured. My phone buzzed, Bryce calling again. I declined it. Your family's foundation does considerable charitable work, Sarah continued. They've helped many people in the community. Yes, they have. and they've made sure everyone knows about it. But charity should begin at home, shouldn't it? The studio doors burst open. Mom strode in with Dad trailing behind her. The audience gasped. "Cut the cameras," Mom demanded. "This interview is over." "Security," Sarah called calmly, but I held up my hand. "No, let them stay," I said. "Maybe it's time we had this conversation publicly, since you won't have it privately." The cameras kept rolling as Mom stepped into the light. "You've made your point, Scarlett. You've humiliated us enough." "Humiliated you?" I stood up. "Do you know what's humiliating? Having your mother schedule a cake tasting for your birthday party, then giving your exact cake design to someone else. Having your father forget to show up to your college orientation because your brother had a golf game. Being told your art scholarship wasn't worth celebrating because it wasn't law school." Dad stepped forward. "We've always supported you. Financially, sure. But what about emotionally? When was the last time either of you asked about my dreams, my goals, my life?" The audience was dead silent. "We gave you everything," Mom's voice cracked. "The best schools, the best opportunities." "You gave me things," I corrected. "But you never gave me what I really needed. Your attention, your pride, your love," Sarah interjected softly. "Mrs. Murray, would you like to sit down? Share your side?" Mom smoothed her designer blazer, ever conscious of appearances. "This is a private family matter that's been blown out of proportion." "Private?" I laughed. "Like the Facebook post you made last month about Layla's pregnancy? Or the Instagram story about Bryce's promotion? But when I got that photography award?" Radio silence. The audience murmured again. "Your brother and his wife are starting a family," Dad said. "That's important. And I was turning 21. That's important too." My voice rose. "Or it should have been." Cody stood up and moved to my side. "I've watched Scarlett check her phone every day, hoping for some acknowledgement from you both. Do you know she still has the notification turned on for your social media, still hoping you'll post something about her achievements?" Mom's perfect mask cracked slightly. We didn't realize." "No, you didn't," I said quietly. "You never realized. And that's the problem." Sarah turned to the cameras. "We're witnessing a raw family moment here, folks. This is what happens when years of unspoken pain finally find a voice." "The foundation board is meeting tomorrow," Dad said desperately. "They're voting on our leadership." "I know," I nodded. "And I'm sorry that's happening. But maybe it's time for some accountability." Mom sank into an empty chair, her composure finally breaking. "What do you want from us, Scarlett?" "I want you to see me," I said simply. "Not as an accessory to Bryce's success story. Not as a supporting character in the perfect family narrative you've created. Just as me, your daughter." The studio was silent except for the soft whir of cameras. Years of unspoken words hung in the air between us. Sarah turned to the camera. "We'll take a brief break and return with more of this powerful family discussion." As the on-air light dimmed, Mom looked at me with tears in her eyes. "When did you become so strong?" "I've always been strong, Mom," I replied. "You just never noticed." The makeup team rushed in for touch-ups, but all I could focus on was the way my parents were looking at me, really looking at me, for what felt like the first time in my life. The foundation's boardroom felt colder than I remembered. I sat between my parents, facing the stern faces of board members who'd known me since childhood. My viral story had forced this emergency meeting, and now we were all dealing with the fallout. "The public response has been overwhelming," Board Chairman Richard stated, shuffling through papers. "Our donors are concerned about the family's leadership." Mum straightened in her chair. "We can handle this. Can you?" Richard interrupted. "Because right now, your family drama has overshadowed 15 years of charitable work." My phone buzzed. Another message from Bryce. "The partners postponed my review. Thanks for nothing." "However," Richard continued, We've also received an unprecedented amount of attention. Scarlett's story has resonated with people. Our social media engagement has increased by 800%. Dad leaned forward. What are you suggesting? I'm suggesting we adapt. Richard turned to me. Scarlett, your video didn't just expose family dysfunction. It highlighted a generational disconnect that many people relate to. We'd like you to join the Foundation's board. What? Mom's head snapped up. As our youth outreach director, Richard explained. Help us connect with younger donors. Create programs addressing family communication and mental health. Before Mom could object, the boardroom door opened. Bryce walked in, looking unusually disheveled. Sorry I'm late, he said, taking a seat. The partners wanted to discuss my social media presence. Did they fire you? Mom asked anxiously. No. Bryce ran a hand through his hair. They want me to lead a new initiative on family law and mediation. Said my personal experience would be valuable. I couldn't help but laugh. So both our careers are actually benefiting from this mess. It's not funny, Mom snapped, but Dad touched her arm. Maybe it is, a little, he said quietly. All our efforts to maintain the perfect image, and it's the truth that's opening doors. My phone lit up with a text from Layla. Can we talk? Alone? The Foundation needs to evolve, Richard said. And frankly, so does your family. Scarlett's video showed us that. Mom's perfectly manicured nails drummed on the table. And if we refuse? Then we'll have to consider new leadership entirely. The room fell silent. Years of my parents' careful social climbing hung in the balance. I'll do it, I said finally. On one condition. Richard raised an eyebrow. Yes? The first program I want to create is about family healing, and my family has to participate, all of us. Absolutely not, Mum started, but Dad cut her off. Yes, he said firmly. We'll do it. Bryce nodded slowly. Count me in. My phone buzzed again. Cody this time. How's it going? Chelsea and I are stress-eating donuts waiting for updates. Richard smiled. Then we're agreed. Scarlett, welcome to the board. As we left the meeting, Layla was waiting in the hallway. Her baby bump was more prominent now, and she looked tired. Can we grab coffee? She asked. I've been doing some thinking. Mom opened her mouth to protest, but surprisingly, held back. 20 minutes later, Layla and I sat in the Foundation's cafe. I never realized, she said, stirring her decaf latte, how much pressure there was to maintain this perfect image. How much it was hurting you. Really? Because you seemed to fit right in. I was trying to, she admitted. Your mom was so focused on appearances, and Bryce was so eager to please them. I just followed along. And my birthday party? Layla flushed. I should have said no to the shower. I'm sorry. My phone pinged with a notification. The morning show interview had gone viral, sparking a national conversation about family dynamics and mental health. Maybe, I said slowly, we can all do better now. The baby's a girl, Layla said suddenly. We found out yesterday, and I was thinking, would you want to help design her nursery? You have such a good eye for art and color. It was a small olive branch, but a genuine one. My phone lit up with messages from Chelsea and Cody asking to celebrate my new board position. As I looked at Layla's hopeful face, I made a decision. Why don't you join us? I suggested. Chelsea and Cody are waiting. No pressure, no perfect images to maintain. Just real people having real conversations. Layla smiled. Not her usual camera-ready smile, but something more genuine. I'd like that. As we gathered our things, I caught our reflection in the cafe window, the family rebel and the perfect daughter-in-law, finding common ground in the aftermath of chaos. Maybe that's what healing looked like. Not a perfect resolution, but small steps toward understanding. My phone buzzed one more time. Mum, dinner tonight? Just us. We need to talk. For the first time in years, I felt hope when I saw her name on my screen. The aroma of fresh-baked cake filled our kitchen as Mom carefully placed 21 candles in a spiral pattern. It wasn't the elaborate 3-tier masterpiece from the original plan, but this homemade chocolate cake meant more. "Are you sure you don't want me to call the caterer?" Mum asked, adjusting a candle. "We could still—" "This is perfect," I said, watching her hands shake slightly as she lit each flame. "Really?" The doorbell rang. Dad opened it to reveal Chelsea and Cody, carrying gifts and wearing party hats. Behind them, Bryce and Layla stepped in, looking slightly uncertain. "Happy birthday, sis," Bryce said, holding out a small package. "It's not much, but—" I opened it to find a framed photo. Me at my art show last year, standing proudly by my winning piece. The show they'd missed. "I had it in my phone," he explained. "Never posted it because, well, you know how things were. But it's a great photo." "Thanks," I whispered, genuinely touched. Layla waddled forward with her own gift, a custom-made art supply set. "For the nursery designs," she said. "If you still want to help." Mom cleared her throat. "Before we do cake, your father and I have something to say." She glanced at Dad, who nodded encouragingly. "We've been watching your interview videos, reading the comments, and we realize we've been so focused on maintaining an image that we forgot to see the real people behind it. Including you," Dad added softly. "The Foundation's family healing program starts next week," Mom continued. "But we didn't want to wait that long to start making changes. So—" She pulled out her phone and opened Instagram. There, on her perfectly curated feed, was a new post, a casual photo of me in my studio, paint-splattered and smiling, taken just yesterday when she'd visited my workspace for the first time. The caption read, "Proud of my daughter Scarlett, our Foundation's new youth outreach director. Her courage to speak truth has taught our family the meaning of real strength. Proud mom, chart real life." "You posted that?" I stared at the phone. "But it's not perfect." "No." Mom smiled slightly. "It's better. It's real." Chelsea wiped her eyes. "Okay, this is getting too emotional. Can we do cake?" As everyone gathered around the kitchen island, Cody slipped his hand into mine. "You okay?" "Yeah," I squeezed his hand. "I think I am." Mom lit the final candle. "Make a wish, sweetheart." I looked around at my small gathering. No society photographers, no perfectly coordinated decorations, just people being genuine. "I don't need to," I said. "This is exactly what I wanted." "Oh!" Layla suddenly grabbed her belly. "She's kicking! Scarlett, want to feel your niece?" A month ago, this moment would have been staged for social media. Now, Layla simply shared her joy, no phones in sight. "We're thinking of naming her Scarlett," Bryce said quietly. "If that's okay with you?" Mom dropped her lighter. "But that's not a family name." "Exactly," Bryce cut in. "It's time for new traditions." As we ate cake, slightly lopsided but delicious, my phone buzzed with a notification. The Foundation's first family healing workshop was fully booked, with a waiting list growing by the minute. "Your story really touched people," Dad said, reading over my shoulder. "You've started something important." "We all did," I corrected. "By finally being honest with each other." Chelsea raised her glass. "To honesty." "And to imperfect families," Layla added, touching her sparkling water to Chelsea's glass. "And to real celebrations," Mum said softly, meeting my eyes. "No facades needed." As everyone chatted and laughed, I noticed Mum had left her phone in her purse. Dad was actually listening to Cody's photography stories, and Bryce was helping Layla get comfortable instead of networking. Small changes, but meaningful ones. The foundation's chairman had been right. My viral moment hadn't just exposed family dysfunction, it had created an opportunity for genuine connection. Not just for us, but for all the other families struggling behind perfect social media feeds. "Hey!" Cody nudged me. "What are you thinking about?" I watched Mom laugh at one of Chelsea's jokes, a real laugh, not her society laugh, and smiled. "I'm thinking sometimes the best gifts come wrapped in chaos." "Speaking of gifts," he grinned, pulling out a small package. "Open mine last?" As I reached for the gift, surrounded by the warmth of real family love, I realized that my 21st birthday had turned out perfect after all, just not in the way anyone had planned. And maybe that was the best birthday lesson of all.